I know a lot of people get actually really bent out of shape when you start talking about Black Lives Matter. And part of it has to do with the fact that there have been some violent episodes involving people that are also involved in Black Lives Matter. But nobody seems to bat an eye at the methods that have been used by the governmental authorities in cracking down on the group. Now, regardless of what you may think about the movement and whether it's actually a grassroots kind of thing or if you think that something nefarious may be behind it, do you think it's right that police officers posing as protesters within the ranks would be allowed to get a hold of their text messages and then feed it to police? I mean, look, if you've got some proof that there's some illegal activity going on, I can understand. I mean, this is where the idea of having to have a warrant, that probable cause phrase, it's been completely thrown away in most cases now. And folks, by and large, seem okay with that it's perfectly fine to have secret police out there infiltrating every group, every business, every area of life, from the public to the private. Would you like somebody having access to your texts and being able to, without a warrant, without anything, just taking a look at your text and forwarding it on to somebody else? What if somebody infiltrated your church? Or, I don't know, maybe you're part of the Elks or the Moose or some other public organization. How would you feel about one of the members being a secret policeman there to spy on you and to forward your text messages and emails on to the government? See, this happened with Black Lives Matter, and the New York law firm Stecklow and Thompson actually filed a lawsuit and got the data released. It actually just came out this week, and it was published by The Guardian, which is a newspaper in the UK. Not sure exactly where the United States media is on the issue, but the sweeping scope of the surveillance that was being conducted by the NYPD during these mass protests notes that actually even the lawyers themselves are saying, yeah, this raises questions about the NYPD compliance with their own city rules. In some cases, they were able to pose as protesters in even small groups, trusted enough to take photos of the other people that were there and forward those photos on to the police that were tracking them. If you're okay with that, then may I suggest that you are falling victim to a statist way of thinking. And you may not wake up in the morning and think, oh, all hail the state, I'm going to bow down and worship. You may not think that, but you act like it. If you think that it's okay for the government to simply do surveillance on absolutely everyone, take a look at your phone anytime they want to be able to access your texts or intercept your emails or pose as a friend of yours in order to get access to your texts. I mean, think about what kind of an atmosphere that breeds. This is what we saw in the Soviet Union. It's what we saw in Nazis, Hitler's Germany. It's what we see in North Korea. And yet, when it happens here in the United States, by and large, most people are like, yeah, let's make America great again. You don't make America great by having a massive surveillance state. You don't make America great by sending out secret police to infiltrate protest movements. You don't make America great by having undercover policemen in every area of life so that you don't know who's a policeman and who's not. That's not good. And if you think it is, I would love to hear some reasoned arguments about it so that we can actually have a discussion on this issue. In fact, I can arrange a phone interview and you and I can discuss it on a podcast. So if you have some good arguments as to why it is a good idea for police to be able to infiltrate protest movements, maybe you want to give up just a little bit of liberty in order to gain more security. You've heard that quote before by Benjamin Franklin, and I had to look it up because it's been bastardized and misquoted for years. Here's the actual quote from Benjamin Franklin. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Something to think about, something that goes all the way back to the founding of our country when these rebels were protesting the overreach of their overlords. Think about that. That's what I got going on today. Send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com.